The day I was handed the keys to a 2,500-acre valley for my grandfather's estate, everything changed before I even crossed the gate. A woman in a red blazer stepped directly in front of my truck and told me I had no right to be there. Behind her stretched razor wire fencing bold no trespassing signs, and something I never expected. An entire residential community of 340 homes built on land that legally belonged to Maine. Overhead, an HOA loudspeaker crackled like it belonged to some self-appointed authority. I didn't argue. I didn't raise my voice. I looked at her, then at the folder in my hands, and understood one thing immediately. I was going to need a much better lawyer than anything she had ever dealt with. The road into Clearwater Valley had been quiet, a narrow Tulane County stretch cutting through scrub oak and limestone hills. I drove with the windows down, one hand steady on the wheel, the other resting on a manila folder stamped by the Delvane County Land Records Office. Inside was a deed, parcel CV 187, total acreage, 2,514.7, transferred legally from the estate of Harold Eugene Brooks to me, Matthew Allen Brooks. My grandfather had purchased the land back in the 1960s when it was nothing but open grassland and old pine. I had only been there twice as a child, but I had grown into a geodetic engineer. Reading land records was second nature to me. I studied them the way others read novels, carefully, skeptically, always searching for what didn't fit. The first thing that didn't fit was the signage. Half hidden in roadside grass stood an old oak plank. Clearwater Valley, private property of H.E. Brooks. Right beside it, a newer sign, polished navy blue, stamped with a stylized tree, declared Clearwater Valley Residential Community, managed by CVHOA. They had removed the original sign. They had simply pinned it beneath their own. At the gate, 2 uniformed guards took my certified deed copy and radioed inside. Minutes later, a white SUV rolled up with precision. That was when I met Donna Strickland. She was 58, platinum hair, burgundy blazer, and carried the kind of expression that came from years of practicing authority. She introduced herself as the president of the Clearwater Valley HOA board, looked me over once, and calmly told me I should turn around. According to her, the document in my hand didn't mean what I thought it did out there. Then she handed me a bound agreement, the Clearwater Valley Long-Term Management Agreement, dated 2013. She explained that it gave the HOA full operational and developmental control over the entire property for 99 years. You inherited a title on paper, she said. We hold everything that title is worth. And with that, she walked away. I stayed at the gate and opened the document. My grandfather's signature was on it, or at least something that resembled it. But I knew his handwriting. Strong, steady, consistent. This one showed hesitation, tremor, uneven pressure. I had seen enough documents to recognize when something was off. I didn't argue that day. I didn't cause a scene. I simply told Donna I needed time to review everything. She nodded and said something that stayed with me. Take all the time you need. We've been through this before. That line mattered. On the drive back, I wrote down 3 questions. Was the agreement ever registered with the state? Did my grandfather have the legal capacity to sign it? And was the attorney involved still licensed? For days later, I was renting a small room above a hardware store in downtown Delvane when 3 express envelopes arrived within 2 hours. That wasn't coincidence. It was coordinated. The first letter came from a law firm threatening civil liability if I interfered with HOA operations. The second, from the HOA itself, accused me of violating multiple community rules during my brief visit. Everything from disrupting security to distributing unauthorized materials, which apparently meant handing over my own deed. The third was worse. A screenshot from the community's social page. Donna had posted a warning about a suspicious individual falsely claiming ownership and encouraged residents to report any interaction with me. The comments were brutal. I documented everything, then checked the attorney's state bar number. Suspended since 2021. That meant legal threats were being issued by someone unauthorized to practice law. I marked it and kept going. By the 6th day, I visited the county records office to request the original survey. The clerk recognized my name instantly. She leaned in and quietly warned me that Donna and the county recorder had a long-standing relationship. If anything was pulled on my parcel, Donna would likely know before I even left the building. That told me enough. The county level couldn't be trusted. That night, my cousin Carol called. Someone had contacted her mother, claiming I was under investigation for fraud and warning the family to stop supporting me. When I hung up, I spread every document across the floor and started mapping connections. Donna sat at the center. From her name branched 4 lines: the HOA, the law firm, the county office, and the residents themselves. This wasn't just overreach. It was a closed system: legal pressure, social pressure, institutional pressure, financial pressure. A structure designed to wear down anyone who challenged it. Under the diagram, I wrote one sentence: to dismantle a system, you build a bigger one. I left Delvane and drove to Austin, where influence didn't reach as easily. I rented workspace, organized everything, and contacted a lawyer, Evelyn Shaw. She had spent over 2 decades dismantling HOA overreach cases. She gave me 40 minutes. I used every second. When I finished, she gave me one critical insight. If a land use agreement runs longer than 10 years in Texas, it must be registered with the state. If it isn't, it doesn't bind heirs. If this agreement had never been filed, then legally, it didn't exist. While her office checked the registry, I had Carol search old storage trunks my grandfather kept. 3 days later, we found what mattered most: an original 1961 survey confirming the land boundaries, a 2012 letter from my grandfather rejecting any HOA proposal outright, medical records from 2013 showing early cognitive decline. Then Evelyn's response came back: no record found. That single detail changed everything. The agreement had no legal authority over me. Now we had facts. The agreement wasn't registered. My grandfather's capacity was questionable, and the attorney involved wasn't licensed. But we needed one more thing: Donna confirming the document publicly. That would turn everything into a trap.